Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got my 2014 Focus ST here. So today I am doing a purge valve and a charcoal canister on my car. If you've owned or currently own a Focus ST, I'm sure you've experienced the spits and sputters after filling up with gas. So I think I've had the car about 70,000 miles, and that right there is going to be number 4. And at this point, I have to assume that's gunked up, taking them out. So I'm going to knock out both today. But anyways, let's get into it. So your purge valve connects from your intake manifold. Manifold here runs down, and it is that white clip down there. And it routes from here, runs along the top of the intake. If you have factory intake piping, it's still going to be the same routing. I can't remember if you have to pull your intake elbow. Sits from about here to here-ish. I can't remember. But anyways, you may want to pull that out for clearance. Last one I did, I left all this stuff intact. You can fight it through, so I'm lazy. And I would rather spend more time fighting and struggling, doing it the hard ways, and taking 30 seconds to do it the easy way. So anyways, runs from here, runs down. You have a single connector there. And the purge valve, I'll show you on the new one. You have a rubber grommet. Let me set my flashlight down. You have a rubber grommet here, right where the connector is. This bracket is already bolted up to the block. If you really, really want to, you could squeeze, fight the bolts out. Me personally, this pulls right off. That's how I do them, so you don't have to fight. One thing I do like to do is remove this Symposer hose. Runs from here to your firewall. You give it a twist, pull up, pops right out. And if you follow from the connector back here, is that white connector right there. Quick disconnect. So let's see here. Along the way, you have a clip here, a little grommet clip here, another one here, and yeah, that's the last one. Real quick, I'm going to show you guys how to work the clips, how not to break it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to get the camera to focus well enough. I don't know if I'll be able to get my hands in there. So I'm going to show you guys real quick on this new one I have. So how this clip works, you need to pull this safety lock back. You can use a pick, you can use a pocket screwdriver. Try to fit your fingernails in there. With this line on the evap ports, this is going to be fully pressed in. You will pull on these tabs on the edge right here, and that will allow this to pop out and release. And then the final part of the quick disconnect, after that, take your finger, thumb, and you'll push down on the top, and as you can see, that opens it up, allows you to pull the line off. So I'm going to go ahead and pop our grommets off real quick. Doing it this way, you can give it a pretty good yank or tug. Me personally, I like to take a little pocket screwdriver. You can pry upwards on it, and then it pops off just like that. there's two. And then you have one more at the corner of the manifold here. And again, this is a plastic intake manifold, so just try to be easy with it as best you can. Let me see if I can get this to focus well enough so you can see the releasing of the clips. Let's see here. So take a pocket screwdriver, you'll release that. Not really going to be able to see on the back side. Let's see if I can fit my hand in here. So once you have that out, and also it's not the end of the world. Me personally, I do usually pull them all the way out, especially if it's something where you're removing it to access to, you know, get to something else. Because those clips, it's not uncommon for them to yeet themselves into oblivion, and then, you know, you won't find it. You really can't find the clips separate without buying the piece. Kind of annoying, is what it is. So now, if I can fit my hand in there well enough with the camera, push down on the top clip. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut the video for just a second to pop that off. Okay, went ahead, pulled the rest of that clip out. But all you'll do, you'll put your thumb on that tab, you'll push down, and then it will release as so. If you have to, take pictures. If not, try to make mental note of how this routes. So next up on the list, we have our connector there. Let's see, get the light to sit. So pretty basic, pretty straightforward. It is a push style connector tab. Let me see if I can fit my hand in here. Let's see here, pull this forward some. Yep, I'm getting my ass whooped by that. Yeah, I'm gonna use a pick for it. Hand's too fat. Give me 1 second. So I went ahead, used a pick to free it. Being plastic, being that it sits, gets a little bit difficult sometimes with your hand. So essentially, the little tab that's on the purge valve connector. Let's see here. That little tab right there on the connector. Let's see here if I can get my flashlight to stay. That'd be so convenient. I don't make anything out of friggin' metal anymore, so you can't stick your damn flashlight to anything. There we go. So as far as the connector goes, slides over that tab. You just push in. You may have to fight it a little bit, may have to wiggle it a little bit side to side, but it'll come right out. So next, back here, 100% not getting that on video, because, well, the only place the camera can go is where my hands and arms gotta go. So I'm just gonna cut the video real quick and I'll show you how I route and take the purge valve out. So once you have the quick disconnect in the back undone, which you'll do. Let's see here. So the bracket will be sitting like this. So you will pull this rubber piece off the bracket, mount it to the block. And it's a little bit tricky, but essentially you will give it a good little spin. Maybe kind of tough, easier to do with two hands. But you will give it a little spin. You'll fight high pressure fuel line pump. Then it's going to want to catch on a few little things, but that's all you got to do to take it out. Then as far as installing the new one, first step, go ahead and pull that bracket off of the rubber grommet, just so you don't have to fight with those bolts over there. And once you have it out, it's essentially just a reversal of what we just did. So fight that end of the purge valve up past the high pressure fuel pump. Let's see here. And before you connect anything, as far as your quick disconnect, just try to give it a good overall routing, because if you make a mistake somewhere and, you know, maybe it was kicking your butt a little bit, it's going to suck having to do it again. Then this routes down in here, like so. So all you got to do as far as reinstalling the quick disconnects, find your line, you'll push down, you'll hear a click. Once you hear a click, give it a little tug upwards just to make sure that it's secure, and then you'll push the white locking tab, which is those pieces. You push that inwards. Again, give it a good little tug. Never hurts, so double check what you're doing. Then, following that, if you want to, you can go ahead and hook up your connector. It's not as easy doing this shit with one hand. Again, push down till you hear a click. Not a bad idea to give it a little tug, make sure it's there. Then all you gotta do is just, wow, I'm a horrible cameraman. Let's see here. Essentially, you'll put the little rubber grommet back on. You'll put the rubber grommet on, let me pull this further back, on that little black bracket right there. Then you come over here. We can go ahead and reinstall these. Get this one over here on the side. And then essentially the same thing. Get my flashlight down in there. It's essentially the same thing at the intake manifold. You find your nipple, which is this right here. You pull it back. Horrible lighting, I know, but push it forward till you hear it click. Then take your finger, pop that tab in, and that's all it is to it. So yeah, thank y'all for checking out the video. I hope it was helpful. If you did do it my way, I mean, this tube, I'm going to be honest, is pretty irrelevant, but you can go ahead and pop that back on. If you're that hell-bent on it, there's a hole back in the firewall you could connect that to. I have it unplugged anyways, so it's not really doing much for me. But anyways, thank you for checking out the video. Hope it was helpful, and y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye.